All right, here's a question for you. How is your emotional wellness? We talk a lot about physical health, but today we want to focus on the emotional side of things.
Yeah, October is Emotional Wellness Month. So exactly what does that mean and how can you build a better, happier you? Dr. Natalie Pickering is back with us to share some insight, and I love that we have an Emotional Wellness Month.
Yes, October, I mean, it's lots of months, but it includes emotional wellness, and I think it's great as we gear up for the holidays, just for people to do an emotional check-in.
Self-check.
A little check-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Before the other shoe drops,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
before you
Sure,
plan your
we're okay.
menus, before all of that, we can do prevention here.
Yes.
We really can.
That's important. Really get this
Yes.
right before we step in.
Exactly.
But when we say emotional wellness, what does that really mean?
So it's like an umbrella, and it corresponds with our mental health too, right? But basically what we're talking about, do I even know what's happening emotionally? Some people really struggle to know what's coming up for them. And then once I know what my emotions are, what do I do with them? So we've got awareness of our own emotion, our awareness of other people's emotion, whether you're at home, in the workplace, it's a whole skill set, really.
Right. What tips do you offer folks for making sure they're in touch with their emotional wellness or do the checkup?
Yes. So one thing I was going to mention, we've got the time change coming up.
Right.
Sleep is critical for your emotional health, right? We know this by lived experience. If we're not getting a lot of sleep, it's harder to, maintain our stress, those kinds of things. Gratitude is a fabulous way. It's an easy, I encourage people to keep a little gratitude notebook. Write down 3 things you're thankful for. I also have another tool to share with you.
A special bag.
It was a little ominous there.
I know.
Yes.
So this is, I've got one for each of you.
Oh.
Okay.
This is an emotion wheel.
Okay.
And by the way, if anybody wants one of these, they can just email me on the website. I will send you a digital copy. But this illustrates the 8 primary emotions, right? And I've laminated yours, so you can even just use a dry erase marker and kind of circle your emotion, kind of track it over the week.
So you have all these different ones.
Yes, and it shows you, for example, the anger pedal, the red one there. Some people will talk about being frustrated or irritated, a little bit of anger, right? But all emotions exist on a spectrum. I can have a little bit of it, I can have a lot of it. The other thing the wheel illustrates is we're often feeling more than one thing at a time, right? I might be happy about something and worried at the same time, right? So it's just a handy little tool. I've also given you some resilient mindset builders on the back. But if anybody wants one, they can email me and I'll send a digital copy.
I love how you've got kind of the steps, like the degrees of something.
Yes.
So you've got, you're kind of annoyed,
right?
Or are you angry? Or is it rage? So, as you make your way into the center, things are getting a little bit worse.
Exactly,
right?
yes, yes. Closer to the middle is more intense.
Yes, I was going to say, because the closer you get to the center here, it can either be really good, like you've got over here, you've got admiration.
Yes.
That's great, okay?
Yes.
But over here, rage.
Exactly. And you may have, again, they go together, right? So like fear and anger, they actually live in the same place in the brain. And anger is often a defense emotion, right? There's often something more vulnerable behind that anger. So part of building emotional wellness is labeling your emotions and understanding, anger is what comes out, but there's something behind that. It might be guilt, might be shame, might be fear, might be lots of things.
Oh, I love it. You are full of insight, and you have a special event coming up. We want to send everybody to your website.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing the Enneagram for Flourishing. This is Friday, November 18th. It's a one-day event. I'll be unpacking the whole Enneagram. So all the different types, what flourishing looks like for each type, different tips for each type. Would love to see everyone there.
All right, check out our website. It's right there on your screen. Going to be a lot of fun, very interesting. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, take
That was fun.
We'll look at this all day.
No.
Do it.